Hello everyone, hi, welcome and thank you so much for being here. We're going to do a collective and timeless reading, so whenever this reading finds its way to you is the right time, but keep in mind it is a general reading, so see which signs and symbols and messages resonate for you in your particular situation and hopefully help to bring you a little bit of clarity to whatever you're wondering, concerned, confused about. It could broaden your perspective and show you something with fresh eyes. It could also narrow your focus and show you something you could be missing. But in the end, always trust yourself. That divine inner guidance is inside of you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the Surrealist Tarot today. So we're going to start with one card because these cards are very surreal and complicated and really different. So let's start with some unusual energy and just get a foundational tapestry for the collective. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest and the greatest good of all. One card. Opening message for the collective to be helpful. Bring some wisdom and insight into the situation going on inside and or around the collective. Oh, wow, we're starting big. We got the Emperor. Ooh, so that's foundation. This is a cool Emperor card. The Emperor is actually standing in the waves of the ocean. So the Emperor is tapping into his emotions. He looks calm, cool, collected, like he's thinking. His crown is actually floating above his head. That makes me think of humbleness. Maybe this Emperor has kind of gotten off his high horse, taken off his crown. I mean, when I think of the Emperor or a good Emperor, I think of the masculine energy that goes out into the kingdom and talks amongst the people, see what's working, see what's not. If this is a business, see what's selling, see how people feel. How is everybody's schedule? If this is just the Emperor in his surroundings, he's actually going outside and checking to see that the hinge on the door on the shed is actually fixed today. Is there anything that needs adjusting? Is there anything that needs his attention? Is there something that he can't do that's a different skill set and he can call somebody for help? I do feel like the Emperor is the Emperor, so he can do a lot on his own, but he doesn't usually have to. He usually has many, many different people that are around him or her that can help in a situation, or he knows the right person to call. He's really, really strong. So this is coming through. Perhaps this is you or someone you know, but this is somebody who really knows how to build on a solid foundation. He really puts action into his everyday surroundings to manifest. It's sometimes a father or a grandfather or a boss or a manager. It's someone who really knows what they're talking about. And if this Emperor is still expanding, still being open-minded to growth, he's aware that there's always new things to learn. So he doesn't know everything, but he's willing to adjust and gather, new information so that when he's attending his kingdom, it's always growing. So it's going with the times. It's moving with those changes. So even though it's kind of a rigid energy, a good emperor has to be a little flexible in a situation. You have to be able to adjust. So this could be you. I mean, really, really getting down to the nitty gritty of how something can, you know, build, what you can put your hands into, how you can make something work, how you can fix something or adjust something. I see like the inside of a clock. So maybe this has to do with schedule or, you know, adjusting your time and attention in certain areas. There's trees in the middle of this ocean. It kind of makes me think of like kind of a flood energy a little bit. So like something kind of flooding over the ground all of a sudden, an energy that comes through that's emotional, that's kind of all the sudden, but there's still these trees that are strong enough to handle whatever situation is coming through. What is going on here? Let me look. If I must mention, if the emperor is upside down, he's a harsh energy. He's kind of a dictator his way or the highway, doesn't see outside perspectives, doesn't want to hear anyone's opinions. He can be really harsh and judgmental and just single-minded and not worried about anything else in the kingdom as long as it's going his way. That prosperity and wealth and built, like what's being built, is good for him. So, I mean, that's when he's upside down. But even when he's like that, he's still the emperor. He's the divine masculine. He's all the kings combined. So I do feel like with the emperor and the empress, even when they're kind of like this, eventually they're going to work their way around and see a situation a different way. Start to recognize the value of every personality, every situation, every accomplishment, every hurdle, every bump in the road, because he's going to want to continue to build. So I feel like if he's upside down, it's probably because he's in a lower vibration, stuck in a rut, stuck on a plateau. But upright, he's so amazing. I mean, he does take those divine inspirations, ground them, and just sees the bigger picture and how to get it done. What is on the side here? I don't even know what this is in this surreal art. He's so structured, and yet there's so much, it's like the way he wants something to be, the structure, the pattern, the goals, the itinerary of how he saw something happening. It looks like it's not happening like that at all, because all of these thoughts are kind of like all over the place. So it's possible there's been a lot of obstacles, detours, bumps in the road, changes in direction, and this looks like you really have to just go with the flow of those changes. The path might not be a straight path. Look at it. It's like he has this one sleeve. It actually looks like, I want to say I see a big like grasshopper here. It kind of looks like a grasshopper, and I don't know why. Maybe a grasshopper is important for some of you. Or jumping over a situation easier. You have the strength and the big legs to do it. He also has like a big cigar. So maybe you know someone that smokes cigars. Or like the smell of tobacco somehow is important to you. Let's see. Let's go to something totally different. Oh, we started big. All right, let's go to an angel number. Clarity on the Emperor. Sometimes that's Aries energy. Sometimes when the Emperor comes through, it's getting more like authority in something, taking authority, taking charge in something, being offered a higher position somewhere. But the Emperor has really good opinions and really good directions, but he's not a pushover at all. So he'll consider others' opinions and take them in, but the decision is ultimately up to the Emperor. One card. Clarity on the Emperor for the collective, please, and thank you. 4, 4, 4, 4. Very appropriate because the Emperor is a 4. So that's a number of stability. I mean, the 4 4s together kind of add up to the 16, which actually is like the Tower energy, which could be something that rushes into a situation like a flood. But when the Tower energy comes through, as rough as that terrain may be, it's to start something again and build it on some solid foundation this time. To restructure something in a different way so it lasts, so it grows, so it builds, so it's strong. 4, 4, 4, 4 is actually blessings in disguise. So if there was a big change, a big no, a big redirection, something where it feels big, it's actually a blessing in disguise, which is a little bit weird because sometimes when you're in it, it doesn't feel like that. You don't figure out how big of a blessing it is until later, and you look back. So it's obstacles, hardships, strength, building character, and experience. There might be some difficulties ahead, but you'll push through. You got this. If you have been struggling or feeling lost, the winds of change will blow in your favor. If you've been suffering or feeling lost, some things may fall apart. It's kind of like that Tower energy, but you're building the framework for something much better. Hang in there. So if there's something that has already left or is feeling like it's teetering, it's ready to go, something's going to fall over eventually, whether it's a divine push or the Emperor chooses to push this or something just crumbled down, it's going to be for the best. It's going to bring you on a new path, and it's going to help you see how strong you are so you can do something different the next time. And this next time is when it's going to work. It's going to feel solid. Like you can just keep, I just see like literally like a building that can just keep expanding up, but maybe it doesn't have to expand up. Now I see something actually expanding out. Maybe it's not about one particular area of your life that you keep growing. Maybe it's a lot of little areas, and each one of these structures, these dynamics of your life is strong. So I do feel like it's overall strength. But maybe there is one thing, one relationship, one situation, one project in particular that I just see like a high rise. Like maybe this particular thing gives you a different perspective on all the other little structures going on in your beautiful kingdom. So let's go to something totally different. Let's go back to the tarot though, and then maybe we'll go to some oracle cards. This is the Law of Attraction Tarot, and before I even pull a card, none of these meanings in this card ever feel like the typical tarot to me. I always get really different messages with these cards. So let's get some clarity on 44, 44, and 4, the Emperor. Blessings in disguise, obstacles, but getting strength, building your character, having experiences. Ooh, we got Judgment. Yeah, look at this. Look at the strength in this angel. I also want to take note, it's like it has 4 wings, not just 2. The trumpet is in this angel's hand, but I feel like this feels a little like an earth angel. So this is probably the emperor actually sounding that horn, or something's happened where the horn is sounding, the trumpet's blowing, and it is actually time to make a big final decision on something. That's usually what this is. It's number 20. It's usually something pretty big. And it is looking back at all of the experiences you've had, everything that you've done, everything you haven't done, how you played a part or didn't play a part in all of your experiences, and then coming to that center point where you really get it. You get it. And you change big time. You choose to do something different. You choose to have self-awareness, self-responsibility, self-reflection, and actually really make a choice where I always feel like it's rising above a situation. It's actually feeling like you are gaining those wings to fly. Like you're actually transmuting yourself into a totally different human, like a different energetic being. Your energy does change after this. So is this like, it's like the big last call, like last call. Time to make a decision, time to, like, I don't know, just you're going out the door on a new journey. Even if you're going out the door and the landscape that you see is exactly the same as the landscape that you always see every single day, the way you see it is different. The way you feel in it is going to be different. The things you notice all of a sudden in that same landscape are different. You start to notice things you never noticed before. I also feel like this is sometimes divine intervention, being really at the right place at the right time, having a real deep inner knowing that you need to do something. Here, it's not making the big decision that you know needs to be made. Or if it's a decision outside your control, it's not finding your center and navigating through that new awareness or decision with the truth of your heart. It's not putting on those beautiful wings and seeing how you can fly differently today. Maybe you couldn't fly yesterday. Sometimes it's taking those wings, that spiritual energy, and actually landing back down on earth to make something grounded and start building, and also see something in reality. I have these down, so let's do something totally different. Let's go to another tarot deck. This is the Spiral Tarot. These are kind of torn and tattered. Clarity on the Emperor and Judgment. And 4-4, 4-4. I just heard it feels good. Maybe it feels good to finally step into your power, or someone's finally seeing how strong they are, maybe how supported they are once this new building starts happening, this new direction starts moving, this final call on something is actually made. One card, clarity for the collective, please and thank you. Oh, and then we have a king. So the King of Swords could be somebody that you're thinking about. This could be you. Or this could be somebody pretty prominent in your world or coming through. This is having mental clarity, The King of Swords is very strong. He's very smart. Usually an air sign. It doesn't have to be, but it's like a Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. The King of Swords kind of can be a little bit like the Emperor, but still a king. So maybe this King of Swords is finally making this huge decision, making some really big changes, looking back on all of his or her experiences to see how strong it's made him or her, and moving up to being this emperor. Or the emperor could also be thinking about when he or she was just a king and not quite completely in charge of the kingdom. But the king's still powerful. And the king usually comes through so you actually make some plans. So you actually have some clear communication. Because even though he's really good at communicating with many different types of personalities or getting his point across very clearly, you can't read his mind. So if this king needs to make a point, he needs to speak clearly and have a conversation. It could be that this king is actually speaking to you and making something really clear to you, so you take on this emperor energy. He could have some really good advice. He knows how to make plans. He knows how to tap into a certain subject or knowledge base, knowledge of a certain area, either one area that's like expertise, a little bit of a genius, or many different areas that he is multifaceted, almost like a jack of all trades, can kind of have an interesting conversation on many different subjects, and or a good conversation with many different people. What is he holding? He's holding a big sword and like a scepter. There's so much air energy around him. It's like his thoughts are moving so fast, it's lifting him up. Or it's actually those winds of, what did it say? The winds of change? The winds of change will blow in your favor. It looks like the winds of change are definitely around this King of Swords. If this King of Swords is upside down, he is not communicating like he should. He's not thinking outside the box in anything. He's only thinking about one particular direction with the blinders on. He's seeing something as only having to be one way and that's the way, and not being able to adapt and adjust and be flexible. Because usually when he's upright, he wants to be flexible. If he has to change his mind on something, it's because he has new information that's come through that made some adjustments on how something has to be pursued or figured out or resolved. If he's upside down, he doesn't want to hear anyone else's opinion but his own head. He is way stuck in thought land, in scenario land, in ego. But it looks like this king is really starting to vibrate in a totally different way with all of this energy around him, or her. But it's a masculine energy, so it means there has to be action put into these thoughts, into these words, into this form of expression, into a conversation, so that it can bring clarity, so it can bring new plans, so these thoughts can come back to reality and get grounded and start to manifest things on a solid foundation. And this kingdom that he's thinking about can actually start to be built. If it's just in his mind, it's just in the ether, it's just in the plans, it's just the blueprints. It needs to actually come down and start to have energy in everyday reality so that something can start to build. It doesn't have to be maybe A, B, C, D. Maybe it has to be, gone a little backwards or done a totally different way. All right, let's see. Let's go to, let's switch to maybe an oracle card on top of these to layer. Let's do an angel card. Guardian angel reading cards. Let's do an angel card on the Judgment, since that looks like a big, beautiful angel. Clarity on number 20 for the collective. What is this big decision on? This self-reflection, self-awareness, releasing. It's like release when Judgment comes, like big release of an old way of doing something. It could be releasing a certain area of your life, releasing a certain partnership, releasing a job. Could even be moving a home, moving out of a home, deciding to relocate and go somewhere else. And ironically, it's the Angel of Decisions coming through. So it does look like this Emperor or King or you, like usually when characters come through, it does have just energetic messages of the parts of us that we need to tap into to handle the situations going on. So this is you and or someone else that's really, really actually making a good decision. Maybe someone's been teetering on the fence, you know, really holding on to something back and forth, making a list, the pros, the cons. Do I, don't I, where do I go? How do I do that? What if this happens? What if that doesn't happen? And you can teeter around all you want, but you need to get off the fence eventually and start to find your center and start to put some of those plans into action. There's so many thoughts going on. It's an 8-2, which is a very powerful message and manifestation. 8's a really powerful number. It's like the infinity. You know, everything's, the only thing that is inevitable is that everything is always going to change and move and circulate and rotate. There's a big light bulb here. So someone does have an idea. You have these plans. There's an umbrella, information, question mark, books, sunshine, money, the clock, the stocks, investments, the center. And you do have this. It's interesting because whatever I saw before about the kingdom, I wonder if you can see that. It does look like there are all these structures and the buildings, and there's actually skyscrapers here and a bridge and a lock and then like a park. So there is a way to, this whole sport, actually create your kingdom, whatever that is. It could be many businesses. Maybe some of you already have a business and you're going to like make it, I hear it like a chain. You make something a chain. Or maybe it's not the exact name. Maybe it's like that name 2.0, something like that. Maybe some of you are investing in like homes. Maybe you're being a landlord or you're having many different apartments or something like that. It could also be multitasking for some of you. If you're an artist or you do something where you actually, I'm just getting like, either many different projects that you bring to maybe something online, an online store, maybe even a gallery or something like that. Or if you do gigs or something like that, it's like many different ways, or you're just multifaceted. You could work in an office over here, do something artistic one day a week over here, attend your family, do something different with your friends. I feel like you have many different things going on, but you're figuring out a way to make your entire kingdom grow. It does look like one thing in particular. This angel is putting down in this thought bubble, this idea that feels a little bigger, a little brighter, than the others. So maybe it starts with that one bright light. What is that first idea that you think of? A thing that you just keep putting, you keep putting aside. Maybe you've been thinking about it over and over, but never put that energy into it. Maybe it's just one step. Put a little energy into it. Get past the drawing board on something and get into the experience, and then see how it feels. You're going to be able to adjust. So let's go to this one. Let's go to the creativity oracle. Let's get clarity on this King of Swords in particular. And it's a message to this King of Swords, or, that ability in you to communicate clearly, to expand your mind, to have self-awareness of what your thoughts are about, the vibration of your thoughts. Making plans, making changes. One card, King of Swords, please and thank you. Beliefs. I put this upside down. Let me show you what it is. And it says pitch, which makes me think of the plans, or a pitch could be a conversation you want to have with someone you're thinking about, and or something business related, or, pitching a new invention, your idea, your art, or like a new business, something like that. Beliefs. So it starts with what you believe in. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that your beautiful ideas that you have, these things that you want to try, do you believe in yourself? I think if you're moving to the Emperor, you're starting to believe you can, that anything is possible. Sometimes, it's not what the goal is, but getting there, it's you got the big compass, but maybe not always the map. So you still can reach the goal, but the way that you get there, the journey along the way, sometimes has to change and be flexible. We all have certain beliefs that can help us or can trap us and can keep us from moving towards creative solutions. It brings you to a 14, a 59. So it could be, if this, you or someone else is kind of getting stuck in the ego, stuck in self-doubt, self-sabotage, getting in your own way. And that could be because situations aren't turning out. If there's some kind of big situation that makes you turn on a dime or happens, it can bring you down. Life happens, but you have to turn something around and pay attention to how much energetic space, how much mental thoughts you're giving to the problem and not the solution. To what you lost instead of what made you strong, or what you gained from it, or where it took you to. And the more you start to look at the, almost, Pollyanna here, the half glass full, but it's true. When your energy is at least up there in vibration, then you do start to notice things. You do start to think of possibilities. You do start to change your beliefs in the what ifs. What if it could happen even better than your biggest dream? What is meant for you? Your destiny is still it's your destiny. How you get there is up to you. The road you take is up to you. How you adjust along the way is up to you. But there is something you're destined to do. And when you're on that path, it feels so good. It feels like the right path. What's on this side? Oh, it's really pretty. Oh my gosh, it looks like my necklace a little bit. That gem looks like this is a sunstone. Maybe you can see it. I actually made this. I'm doing a little show and tell here for you guys. But you see how that in the light, maybe you have a sunstone? It looks like that. Different shape. So the sun on your third eye, getting intuition, getting like having real beautiful visions that feel like sunshine. They feel like they glow different. You have your hand on your heart here, but it also looks like, I don't know, it almost looks like a walking stick, but it's like a twin. Or like a, it kind of makes me think of dowsing, which is kind of interesting. Maybe you know how to douse. What an amazing skill. I met somebody that knew how to douse, like before you had the big machines to find where a well was. And you would just literally walk around with a stick and like you could feel the pull. And this man that I talked to one time actually learned it from his father, that learned it from his grandfather. And it was sort of a gift in the family to have that sensitivity to where there was energy flowing through water way underneath the ground. So maybe you dowsing somehow is important, or you're getting property and it's about finding the well. Yeah, I just see like well water now. Or maybe it was like an emotional situation that was really buried deep. And something comes through and you feel a little tug. You feel a little difference in energy on how to perhaps obtain some wisdom and or healing from a situation. I just see like once you finally like maybe dig your hands into something, make a little space for something, I just see like Old Faithful coming on out. So like this well just starts flowing. It makes me think of the Ace of Cups a little bit. Like this abundance just all of a sudden brings so much abundance into your world. But maybe it starts with something emotional. There is a mountain here in the background. And I did see this pitch. So let's see what this says. It says, be as clear. Well, there you go. These are both coming out for the King's Swords. Be as clear, concise, and professional as you can be when you explain your ideas to potential associates. So it doesn't really matter if this is a sales pitch, if this is pitching a new idea, a new invention, or talking about a relationship. Whatever it is, it's having clear communication on, it looks like, potential associates, people that you will be working with. Perhaps one person in particular you're going to be working with. But you can't, they're not going to read your mind. So maybe you do need to write some things down. You do have all these plans here. Maybe you need to practice something in the mirror or in front of a person you really trust and you're comfortable with. Hey, I'm going to go over my little speech with you. Can you tell me how this sounds? Or if you have any questions that you can think of something I can change, that would be really helpful. But it could be just you asking yourself some questions. It is a 5, which does mean they're changed. I'm going to take this so I can see the card and then put these down. Oh, look at these beautiful women. They both have these headpieces on, both of them. I don't know if that's meaningful to you. I see these headpieces. They're kind of the same. It makes me think of like a fan. This woman is looking at this white rose. Oh, it looks like this big, look at this big pillar here. It looks like it's something from ancient Egypt when they still had the colors on the pillars and it was painted. But it does look like it's just one pillar. If it's the emperor, you need to have 4. So it's like a solid table, so it can start to build that structure. So maybe it's just starting with 1, or you already have one thing that's kind of built and good. Maybe you need some help to start building some of these other things and you don't have to do it on your own. She also has a really, really cool necklace. It looks like it's like coral and something else. Maybe coral. It's funny, this is a big tower, but it almost looks like papyrus, I can't get that word right. It almost looks like it's also paper. Okay. What can we do? What can we go to bring some clarity from an oracle card? Let's do this one. This is the place oracle. Since, you know, it's the emperor, but it is talking about a kingdom. So let's just see what comes through. This is the place oracle. This might be a big message, or it might be something small. Clarity for the collective on beliefs, pitch, making a decision, blessings in disguise. Windswept region. Didn't we see the wind, guys? Yeah, the winds of change are coming. Look at that. It almost looks like the same thing. So it could be a stormy situation that happened. But after that storm, it's time to clean up the mess and start rebuilding and do something, make something different. It's breezy gusts, whirling winds, airy expanse. That's so cool. And dancing leaves. I just heard all the leaves are brown. All the leaves are brown, all the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. That song. I don't think any other music came through today. Oh, well, this makes me think of Bad Moon Rising, too. I see a bad moon rising. It's a little CCR. But it does look like, you know, something big is coming through, or small. It might be just a tiny little gust of wind, a tiny little thought that you have, but that's going to create big changes, which is pretty cool. It doesn't have to be a big gust. Sometimes it's just a little, I see like actually a leaf, like riding along, like a not even a stream, like a not like a brook, like a tiny little stream, whatever that is, into maybe like a creek, and then over some rapids into the lull, and eventually that creek is going to head out into that big ocean. I also see how water goes. That's funny because it's all this air energy, but I see water all of a sudden. How, you know, when water like trickles from the mountain, it doesn't go the straightest way. It goes the path of least resistance. I put this upright. I know this is weird to be at the bottom, but maybe this is important for some of you. It does say beauty salon. There's so much pink here. The first thing I actually thought of when I looked at this was like the bathroom of Jane Mansfield. She really liked pink. That's kind of what I saw in pink. And I think of the singer. I don't know. The first song I see is the one with her curly hair and the Ferris wheel. I don't know. I can't. The one about like her friend that's not there anymore or something like that. I can't get the title, but I kind of see her hair, and I kind of see the video. Hairstyling, makeup artistry, relaxing spa services, and grooming and styling. So perhaps if this does have to do with a sales pitch, that's something that's on your mind for some of you. That is a message coming through. Maybe it has to do with, it could be anything. You know, the people that do the eyelashes, nails, a barber salon, a spa. Ooh, that's cool. One of those spas where, like, you know, you get the massage from the waterfall, and it has the different rooms, like the igloo room, and then the infrared hot sauna room, and then the, like, what is there, some with like a cold bucket? It's so weird, where you like pull, you're like, ooh, 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 and then you pull the string and that bucket of cold water just washes all over you. And then there's like other spas that have like mineral baths, and I don't know, I feel the spa now. So maybe that's an idea, or maybe you get the idea when you just go to a spa. Maybe you meet somebody sitting in the sauna. You know, that's the place to give your pitch, or that's a person that has a really good idea or brings that little winds of change. It can happen anywhere. If it's makeup, maybe some of you do makeup. Maybe some of you are thinking of just doing your makeup on YouTube, showing your own little personal flair and style. Maybe it's not even the colors that you picked, it's just how you talk. You're just fun. People want to watch you. Or maybe you talk about other things while you do your makeup. Hey, you know, something that you believe in. Maybe just your experiences. And it's grooming and styling. I also see a dog groomer with that, so it doesn't have to be people grooming. It could be with dogs. I don't know, do they groom cats? So let's take that and let's get one more card. One more card on windswept region, beauty salon, hairstyling. Maybe you're a hairstylist. I just heard a movie set. Maybe you work on a movie set. Or maybe you get a good idea from your hairstylist or your barber. What's that? Oh, and then we got a bank. I'm going to put these down. The bank is saving and investing, loan and credit, and financial institutions. So maybe you're paying attention to your finances. Maybe this decision takes a little bit of an investment and it's getting the right advice, the right professional help. It could be actually investments. So maybe money not sitting actually in an account, but taking the right amount out so it can grow. And you're getting the right advice with that. Or you start to see growth in your investments or changes. If they're changing and you need to readjust something so you can get back to growth, then maybe that's where your adjustments are coming through. Maybe you're getting a loan, buying a house, buying a car, starting a business. Maybe somebody is actually investing in you as well. Maybe like like a silent partner, a silent investor. Maybe you're building up your credit too. Maybe you talk to the right person to help build up your credit. Get your credit score back up. You know, do something where you're not just paying the minimum every month. Maybe there's some help out there somewhere. I mean, just do a search. There are so many, there's so much help out there. Sometimes it's just searching for it, asking the right questions, get you back to feeling like, ooh, you know, off like that stuff is like pressure kind of stuff. So I do feel like that is going to go away, or at least start to. For some of you, it could be that, you know, really, I mean, you got the Emperor. So once this kingdom like really starts being, I hear, mended and attended, the possibilities of, you know, how something can become super stable and secure and feel very good are right here. For some of you, maybe you actually work in a bank, or you're that person that can help somebody maybe get out of a rut, get out of a sticky situation, balance out their finances somehow. Saving and investing. You could be saving already for something specific and or figuring out how you can put a little bit aside, who knows, every day, every week, every month, for something really important that you're thinking about. That could be a vacation. That could be a home. That could be a car. That could be a college fund for your kids or your grandkids. It can be anything. Maybe you're at the point where you're actually starting to think about maybe retirement or something like that. So you're adjusting. you're learning to do something different to plan for the future. I am not a financial advisor, by the way. These are just messages that are kind of coming through to be little catalysts for you to do the right research, to ask the right questions, to go in the right places where you can get the help from the professionals. So let's go to the power deck. Since this was kind of a powerful reading, guys. I don't really ever know what to expect with the readings that we have here. But I hope that there's something that came through that was helpful to you. Maybe just a little nugget. Maybe the whole thing. Maybe it makes sense later. Maybe this is clarifying something from the past. I just heard another go. Let's get one card. Clarity for the collective. Pitch. Believing in yourself. Dancing leaves. Finances. Pink. Beauty. I keep thinking of a beard. Or like, what is that when they have the hot, I don't know, when they have the really hot thing. If like the hot towel, and then you get the like really beautiful shave. So maybe you're shaving your beard today. Get one more card, and then we have the Emperor. It's making like a really good judgment call. Making a decision. Speaking clearly. Thinking clearly. Sometimes if, your actual surroundings are kind of messy, your plans are kind of scattered all over the place and not in an organizational form, and or space is there. I just see somebody like running into something in their living room, like oh, and stubbing their toe. That can make your brain a little foggy. Your thoughts kind of unclear. So maybe it's actually clearing something away, letting something go, clearing your physical space, getting a little bit organized, clearing your desk. I just see a bunch of electrical cords that are all over the place. I'm not sure why. Like all twisted. So maybe you're organizing something like that. Straightening out something that felt like it was just all in knots. Once that is straightened out, like I think of communication with electricity. I also think of energy. Maybe the energy zaps back better. One more card for the collective, please, and thank you. And we're coming back to strength. Just a 27. It's a 9. It's the north and it's white. Oh, wow. This is a really cool picture. These, I don't know if they're birch, but that looks like birch to me, which aren't the biggest trunks, but I think the birch wood is very, very strong. And there's no leaves here. It's just these strong trunks. It's a lot of growth. But it is like you can't go straight through. You gotta kind of wiggle your way to get through something, or you're gonna like bump your head on a tree. So it might be that you have to go through the side door. You might have to, I don't know, seeing somebody like move their body all different ways. That could be just your direction. It has to be kind of all different ways to get through something that feels dense. But I also get that this density is really good because it's bringing a strong forest. You're not just growing a tree, you're growing the whole forest. And then you have this beautiful Buddha sitting in meditation. This beautiful inner light is just glowing, causing not just a vibration, but an actual light inside the middle of this forest, because it does look like it's the middle of the night. And then you have the lotus. Look how big that lotus is. And the world is right here. So really focusing on your world, what you can do, the little things you can do, and start having something unfold so big. All of these petals, what is that, like the 1,000, I think it's the 1,000 petal lotus or something like that. If you know kind of what I'm talking about, sort of foggy in the brain, maybe put that in the comments. The 1,000 petal or something like that. And the lotus grows out of like the mud or the muck and it grows really, really strong. I also think it like goes underneath at night. Let's see what this says. And then this will sum the reading. Thank you for being here, guys. All right, let's see. It says the person who upsets you most in your life is one of your best teachers. If that person can get inside your head, turn you around, confuse you, you know that you still don't understand what you are doing. You need more strength. Learn. I mean, you do have all that. So maybe something happened. You didn't realize the situation you were going through is going to bring you one of the biggest blessings of strength ever to really adjust something. It's true. Like you look back at your teachers, like sometimes the ones that were you got worried about that test. Oh, they got you all stressed out, but they're the ones you remember. And you still remember those lessons. It doesn't mean that you're still in that class anymore, but you remember the lesson you learned. Learn by seeing that your life is a teaching. Like the red lotus, healing its pain and inner solitude, gain strength from entering your wounds and learning from them. It kind of feels like what I saw in the well. You know, it was kind of down there all along, but facing something changes it and actually brings like overflowing love. The magician remembers the trail and takes a different one, even if it's more difficult. In this way, you create your own path as you build strength from it. So, I'm going to pause this and sum it up. It was like a little wake-up call at the end here. But it does look like the path, you know, that sometimes the harder path brings you the bigger lessons and the biggest blessings and ends up to be the place you actually want to be. Sometimes when you take the easy road, just the straight, plateau, boring, normal way, it's not as fun. You didn't learn as much. You didn't have as good scenery or feel the endorphins at the end. So sometimes it's okay to make a big decision, even if it's really hard, to do, you know, take that hard road on something. Because that usually means that what you're manifesting is so much grander. And I hope that something came through in here that was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. You guys are so special. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you soon.